tabletop role-playing game freebies, sales, and bundles. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, broadcasting live from Site B on this Monday morning, 9 o'clock, on the 30th day of September. It's my brother's birthday, 57 degrees and sunny. It's time to take a look at this week's freebies, sales, and bundles. Remember, as always, unless I specifically say otherwise, these are PDFs and not physical copies. You will not be getting an actual thing in the mail. Because we are dealing with digital media, please, if you download anything before you install it, open it, look at it, breathe on it, think about it, check it for viruses and malware. This whole identity theft is still a thing. My mom just got hers stolen again. So yes, please, before you install or open anything again, check it for viruses and malware. All right, let's see this week's freebies. Links down below to anything that I think stands out. And obviously it's the Kickstart for the Discworld Adventures in Akamopok role-playing game. And this comes with a video link. I will include that. So it has a quick start if you're interested in exploring the world of Discworld. This comes from Modifius. It's probably using the 2D20. Coffee. And it is, of course, based upon Terry Pratchett's Discworld's adventures. If you're not familiar with Terry Pratchett's Discworld, there's a couple movies that have been made. Adventures of the Hogfather is one of them. You can find those on YouTube. There's also a whole bunch of books he's written over the years. You can find at your local bookstore or library or online. So yes, and the term "it's turtles all the way down" comes from this. Kobold Press is a preview of their new metaverse setting, Labyrinth, a web connecting your favorite Dungeons & Dragons Tales of the Valiants in your home campaign. This setting also functions as a toolbox with adding new 5e type stuff. Let's see if we have some more information on this. It's free. Explore cosmic boundaries of arcane secrets, deadly enemies, and ambitious factions. Traverse legendary locations without ruining your current campaign. Confront and capture Catalyst's monsters in the enigmatic near void. Create entire empire worlds on a whim and destroy them just as quickly with new Game Master's tools. Doesn't really tell me what it is. Also, pretty sure the name Labyrinth's been used for something else. I don't know. Sound familiar? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Storm Bunny Studios. Okay, you win this week's prize for best name for a game company. Storm Bunny Studios releases Mists of Akum Soburn, S-O-B-U-R-N, Soburn Premiere, an updated version of the Eastern Fantasy Steampunk Noir campaign setting by EN World's own Mike Myler, a 90-page book that gives you an in-depth look into the fantasy steampunk noir world of Arkham Sovereign. Fantasy steampunk noir? Fantasy steampunk would be arcane punk, or just steampunk. And steampunk noir as opposed to just normal steampunk? Okay, whatever. Phil Reed Games. Phil Reed, the game designer, not the musician. Phil Reed Games has released a supplement for Mork Borg called Blacken and Burn. Rumors of a Dying World. Random tables of things the characters might hear in an alleyway or at a bar or whatever that they might want to follow up on. Hey, did you hear the king is actually not the king anymore? He's been replaced. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard it was his cousin. His cousin, I heard it was the magistrate. The magistrate, I heard it was a carrot. A carrot? Yeah, I heard it was a carrot. They just propped up a carrot in the throne and nobody noticed. Man, somebody should... Yeah, kind of stuff, you know? If you're looking for a solo game, Tenerbis Games has released The Last Day of the Rest of My Life, a solo journaling game based on the Powered by the Apocalypse rules. Choose your archetype and explore the character's finest moments, recalling past events and confronting unresolved issues. So you are dead or dying, and you're doing the whole seeing my life before my eyes kind of thing. Liminal horror expert Alan Hall has released 1 Hour Photo, an Orosar adventure built around the liminal horror things about finding strange photos covered in blood. 1 Hour Photo. And the dark mystery surrounding the town's only photo shop. Remember photoshops? Remember film? Remember having to get film developed? Anybody miss real, actual film? I kind of do. Not always. I mean, not really. But I kind of do. We got some more love for Shadow Dark. This one's from Red Jack. It's called The Devil's Martyrs. It's a one-page dungeon gauntlet inspired by DCC, where you see hapless villagers fleeing from the neighborhood army and the fiends accompany them. I love funnels. You know that I love funnels. I love gauntlets. I love whatever you want to call them. Grinders. Start with 4 or 5 characters. See whoever survives to the best. You want to talk about backstory and ongoing story? Play through a funnel and manage to have a character alive at the end at first level, and you've just got a whole story behind that character. Relentless Fiction has released Albion by Aetherlight. The game is afoot, featuring Victorian fantasy versions of Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Professor Moriarty, Irene Adler, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman, set perfect for the Albion campaign setting or any other Victorian-style world. So famous characters from the Victorian era, like Irene Adler. Converted to 5e. We got some horror one-shots coming up. We've got Roberto Francesas has released Slasher, Don't Scream Run, a 6-page RPG that draws inspiration from slasher and horror films where you're being stalked by an unkillable, unstoppable monster like Jason or Freddy or Leatherface or the Postman. You know, whatever. Storyteller's Vault has got something called Old Witchcraft, Secrets of Koldunic Society. This one comes from Enrique Castro. Secrets of the Koldunic Society. I assume that's one of the factions in the World of Darkness. The dark arts of Tismasis, based upon Eastern European folklore. That doesn't mean anything to me, but if you're a Storyteller's Vault, World of Darkness kind of person, that might mean something to you, and it's free, and it adds 20 new powers, 100 new rituals, and other stuffs about old world, old witchcraft, Eastern European folklore, Baba Yaga, that kind of fun stuff. Lightning round. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new maps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 new backstory subclasses, feats, thingies, whatever, that you can still use from 5th edition. These are still technically legal. You can still technically use them as long as the DM okays them. They are still currently approved by Wizards of the Coast. Moving on to sales. EM Publishing is offering a sale for their game, Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. This Level Up bundle gets you pretty much everything they've made for core rules for Level Up 5e for $25. And they also have the Adventure Bundle for $13, which features a whole bunch of adventures that have been made both by EN World and by third party for Level Up 5e. Let's not forget that before Pathfinder 2nd Edition, before Tales from the Valiant, even before Shadow Dark, Level Up Advanced 5th Edition was out there just plugging away, offering you an alternative to 5e. So if we're going to have the alternative to 5e wars between Tales from the Valiant and Level Up 5e, I don't think that's ever going to lead to a war. I have a feeling Tales from the Valiant is just more recognized, and it's probably going to win. But it's still out there as an option if you're looking for a very decent 5e alternative. The ever-changing, ever-growing drive-through RPG week theme, where they do a different theme every week for stuff they mark down. This week's theme is Zine. So we've got 13,000 titles ranging from 2 pages to 20 pages to 100 pages, little zines for 25% off, covering a brand spankingly wide variety of topics and role-playing game companies. So we've got everything in there, including probably superheroes. So if you are a fan of zines, check it out. We have a World Adventures sale for Dungeons & Dragons. This is on Drive-Thru and Roll20. It's VTT-ready copies of official D&D adventures such as Strahd or Witchlight or Eberron. This is one of the things where I would definitely say double, triple, quadruple check for viruses, Walmare, phishing things, anything, because not only are you downloading a thing, you're then installing that thing into your VTT Roll20. So there's plenty of places where a little insidious worm could just sneak its way out of the bits and bytes of the program and slowly start gobbling up your personal information. Son of Oak Game Studios has got a bundle out for City of Mist. The first bundle is called the Core Vigilante Bundle, featuring all the City of Mist players type stuff and local legends and anything you would need to be slightly superpowered individuals in the City of Mist. Then we have the second, that's $60. And then we have the second bundle, which features a bunch of other books, plus the character folio, an expansion pack, and some adventures for $100. So if you just want City of Mist Bundle 1, contains everything. City of Mist Bundle 2 contains everything from City of Bundles Mist number 1, but it is just plus some additional stuff. City of Bundles Mist number 1. Yeah, I need more coffee. And speaking of bundles, this week's charity bundles, we have from Itch.io, a huge bundle called TTPs for Accessible Gaming Charity Bundle, hosted by Just the Human. This bundle features over $900 worth of tabletop role-playing game products and over 300 titles from 130 creators, including Glitter Heart, 5-Year Mission, The Mystery Business, and so many others. Glitter Hearts, 5-Year Mission, and The Mystery Business, huh? You're not even trying. Not even trying. This is $10. It goes to support the TTRPG project. Now, are the creators of these individual adventures people who need accessibility, or are they just champions of the cause? What is a accessible gaming product? Is it going to be in Braille? Is it going to be easier to read for people with like dyslexia or stuff like that? I don't know. You remember Itch.io? They're the company that called me a Nazi. So, Over at Humble Bumble, we have a Goodman Games D&D 5e adventure featuring a whole bunch of stuff that Humble Bumble friends Goodman Games has made over the years for 5es, like 5th edition fantasy, Crypt of the Devilish. I remember that one. Monsters and Magic of Lankmar. And if you order the $30 one, they will actually send you a copy of Crypt of the Devilish. I remember Crypt of the Devilish. It was in the all red cover. It was a POD type vinyl plasticky hard cardboard cover, papers, classic style. And this all red cover, and just this it was trying to emulate classic modules. For some reason, they chose all red, and then they had like the picture and then the little text below the picture and the name above the picture. I remember it being a pretty decent high-level adventure. I mean, a devil who also becomes a lich. Sounds kind of interesting, different. But I don't know. I think one, it was a company that nobody really knew about back then. 2, it was a high-level adventure amongst several other high-level adventures. And 3, just making the cover all red. Really just, it sat on the shelves for years. But you can pick it up now for $18, or you can spend $30 and get the physical copy. And this goes to support food banks. Renegade Game Studios has a bundle up for the Power Rangers role-playing game. Dun, 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 dun. It's $18 is the most popular pledge to reach everything that Renegade Games has made for Power Rangers so far. Or you can spend $40 and get the Power Rangers Hero Miniatures Set 1 and 2, along with a physical Power Rangers character record sheet, second mailed to you, but only if you live in the US, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. Not Europe or Asia or South America, but USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Unusual choice, but maybe it has something to do with the weird shipping stuff that's going on. So here's a second one that actually does have physical product, and this goes to support world builders. Pazio has the Bundle of the Dead. And this includes a whole bunch of Pazio 2nd edition Pathfinder stuff for the Bloodlords Adventure Path, the Lost Omens World Guide that ties into the Bloodlords Adventures Path, a whole bunch of adventures and stuff like that. The top tier for $50 includes a physical copy of the Book of the Dead shipping extra. So for $35, you get all the PDFs. But if you want to pump it up to $50, you will get a physical copy sent to you. So once again, here's one that's actually sending you a physical copy in the mail. And this goes to support the Take This charity. Crucible 7 has the Warhammer 40K Universe Bundle, featuring both Deathwatch and Rogue Trader and a whole bunch of stuff for both of those role-playing games, including the source books and core rule books for $25. And this goes to support children's hospitals. That's a good charity to support. We've got another chunk of Black Library books for your reading pleasure. This is the Warhammer 40K novels. We've got about 24 titles, all set in and around various aspects of the Warhammer 40K universe. So if you're interested in reading some Warhammer 40K fiction, $18 is the most popular pledge, and it goes to support libraries, which is another good one. Talk about the Black Library almost every Tuesday. If you watch my Tuesday videos about Games Workshop, as just one of the most unbelievably unappreciated, prolific writing houses I'm aware of. I mean, they publish as many books as like Hallmark, if not more, or those bottle-scripting cowboy novels, or the secret millionaire novels. But dear God, it's like every week there's like 20 new books. I mean, God love these guys. I don't know why they don't get more recognition for just publishing. The Lost Worlds of Gygax bundle is still available. That's from Frog Gods and Necromancer and Troll Lords game, containing a whole bunch of stuff that Gary Gygax created. This is stuff that they haven't switched over to the Castles and Crusades Gygax line yet. It's just the bits and bobs like Necromancy or other things that Gygax wrote over the years that didn't really fit anywhere. So they're releasing them through here. $25 is the most popular pledge, and that goes to support veterans charities. We have the bundle of books. We've got the 39 Terry Pratchett books available to download, but in order to read them, you have to have an account with Kobo, which is a completely separate app for opening and reading these products. So if you have an e-reader like Kindle or whatever, you won't be able to read these unless you download Kobo. So this is the time where I would again remind you, please, if you could download these books and download Kobo before you install them, activate them, even look at them, breathe upon them, or even think about them. Check them for viruses, check them for malware, check them for phishing, check them for everything you can think of. And that's all the ones for this week. Did any of these sound fun to you? Nothing really jumps at me this week. I was hoping for some more spookiness. I guess the big thing everybody's going to be curious about is a Discworld role-playing game. Is there a market for a Discworld role-playing game? Is the fan base of Discworld large enough and current enough to actually make people interested in this? Or is it going to be another role-playing game that just sits on the shelf gathering dust? Which I find myself saying more and more and more, and I wish I didn't. You know, I would love every role-playing game on these lists to succeed. But we all know that they can't. But hopefully, you know, even if one person gets pleasure out of reading this game, the author has done their job. I had somebody tell me last night that even though they didn't really understand everything in the stuff I'd written, they were so amazed by the research, and just reading my stuff taught them stuff. And I was like, well, then I've done my job. If one person, you know, tells me that, wow, the writing is great. Wow, I really appreciate the research. Wow, I really actually learned something reading this. I don't really understand all of it, but it doesn't matter because this is really, really, really good. Then I've done my job, right? Maybe I won't make $1 million, but I could have the warm little feeling in my stomach of going, hey, somebody took pleasure from this. So if there's only one person out there that gets this Discworld role-playing game thing and they pick it up and they're like, wow, that was so much fun, I'm glad I picked it up, then the Discworld people did their job. If you appreciate this content, let me know. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you're always up to date with the latest OGGM adventures. And have a great day. We'll talk to y'all later. See ya.
brave.